Chapter 74. Bring me to court death. Big Smart did not say anything. It was not appropriate for him to make any comments on this. Since Elder Kin is not around, let's cultivate separately. Sanshi was not interested in interfering with third brother's matters. Young master, through Elder Kin's connections, I bought the first chapter of the Operated Dragon Elephant Technique from Prina Art at the small trade fair yesterday. Do you want to take a look? Big Smart asked. He knew that Sanshi was cultivating many martial arts at the same time, and the Prina Art was one of them. Why not? Let me see. Sanshi nodded. The Dragon Elephant Technique could directly merge with the current technique. This would be beneficial to his physical body cultivation. Big Smart took out a secret manual and handed it to Sanshi. He muttered, "This cultivation technique is quite expensive. It cost me 60 spirit stones." Sanshi opened it and quickly browsed through it. His powerful comprehension and spirit allowed him to remember everything. He memorized everything after reading it only once. Is there only one chapter? He realized that this secret manual recorded the cultivation of the strength of the elephant. It was divided into 3 levels and would have reached completion after the cultivator had cultivated the strength of the 9 elephants. Just like the elephant's strength chapter, the second part of the dragon's strength chapter corresponds to the Golden Core King realm. I don't need it for the time being and I can't afford it. Big Smart smiled awkwardly. That's about it. I'll buy it later when I have the money. Sanshi returned the manual to Big Smart and turned around to start cultivating the Grand Moon Visualization Method. 7th brother, a girl with a white cloth wrapped around her arm, walked out of a room in the backyard and called out to Sanshi timidly. What's wrong? Bye-bye. Sanshi walked over and touched the girl's head. Does it still hurt? It doesn't hurt. Bye-bye, just wanted to call you, 7th brother. Sanbei said. After all, this girl was still a child. Now that her mother had passed away, other than a few of her relatives, there was indeed no one to talk to her. Sanshi sighed. You can call me any time you want. Sanbei actually wanted Sanshi to play with her, but she was very sensible and knew that her 7th brother was very busy, so she did not say anything. Where's your second sister? Sanshi realized that he had not seen that annoying woman since he came to stay at the New Moon brothel. Sister locked herself in her room every day to practice martial arts. She didn't talk to Bebe either. Bibi had a forlorn look on his face. Oh, she must have been provoked and is cultivating in seclusion. Sanshi chuckled and instructed, Big Smart, arrange a teacher for Bebe and a maidservant to take care of her. Okay. Big Smart replied habitually. Sanshi thought for a moment and added, if Elder Kin comes back, ask him if he has any martial art suitable for girls to learn. Let Bebe learn it. She doesn't need to become an expert. In this chaotic world, it's better to have more martial arts than not having any martial arts at all. With that, he left. After returning to his room, Sanshi closed his eyes, and a huge star appeared in his mind. This star was like the moon, but it was far larger than the moon. It was the prehistoric lunar star, and its bright light emitted a majestic aura. The star's aura was cold, causing the spiritual world to become extremely quiet, causing one's mind to calm down. Under the moonlight-like light, Sanshi's soul appeared. He sat cross-legged in his spiritual world and bathed in the light. Fog constantly gathered on the lunar star, allowing his soul to gradually condense. The spirit was his soul. If his soul was becoming stronger, it meant that his spirit stats were increasing. Sanshi sensed it and realized that the fog in his spiritual world came from the transformation of his body. Under the Grand Moon Visualization Method, a portion of the essence chi and true energy in his body disappeared, turning into this spirit fog. In other words, true energy and essence chi were raw materials that condensed the essence of spirit. However, the conversion ratio was very small. If essence chi was converted into martial Dao genuine chi, it was 10:1. If spiritual chi was converted into spiritual energy, it was 3:1. The total ratio of the two converted into spiritual energy was 30:1. In short, he needed to consume 30 sets of raw materials to convert 1 set of spiritual strength. Using chi refinement to form my soul, Sanshi was deep in thought. Usually, when he cultivated, his spiritual strength would naturally increase. With the Grand Moon Visualization Method, this process was isolated and turned into a new cultivation system that could actively condense spiritual strength. He guessed that this was the so-called spirit refinement skill. It was much more difficult than body tempering, and even more difficult than chi refinement. The 9-yang divine technique only involves spiritual cultivation when cultivating the 10th acupuncture point. So spiritual cultivation is probably only something that cultivators consider doing at the golden core realm. This means that spiritual cultivation is not necessary for ordinary cultivators. Song Shi realized. He thought about how his current physique and true energy were quite powerful. And he did not lack any raw materials, hence he could choose to speed up his chi refinement and soul formation. He subconsciously increased the transformation of his spiritual strength. The lunar star shone with a large amount of light, and a lot of fog descended, which was quickly injected into his illusory soul. His soul contorted, showing clearly that he was exceeding the limit of what he could absorb. He only felt a buzz in his head as his soul was dispersed and shattered into pieces. You died from chi deviation. Comprehension +3. You have absorbed strength from death and obtained to freedom attribute points. You will be resurrected in 3 seconds. No resurrection location set. Resurrection on the spot by default. Amidst the system notification, Sanshi woke up and rubbed his forehead speechlessly. I actually died because I caused my own soul to dissipate. My soul is too weak. He roughly understood why he had chi deviation. His physique was too powerful and he had condensed a lot of spiritual strength. Moreover, since he had condensed it so quickly, it would be strange if he didn't get injured by it. No wonder for cultivation of martial arts or immortality cultivation, it did not involve spirit cultivation in the early stages. One reason was that it consumed too much energy, and the other was that it was too dangerous. If not for his undying body, he would have died a long time ago. He checked his spirit stats and saw that it had increased from 332 to 333. This meant that his spirit had increased by 1 point when he was cultivating just now. The effect of the cultivation technique was not bad. So spiritual cultivation techniques can cause chi deviation too. It's also very easy to die through that. I can farm deaths with this method from now on. Song Shi grinned. He thought of the wonderful results he had achieved when he farmed death last time, and was about to farm deaths until he gained enough comprehension points to increase his physique, when there was a knock on the door. Who? Sensing that it wasn't someone from the New Moon brothel outside, he quickly retracted his aura. Whoa. That old voice was a little familiar yet unfamiliar. Song Shi could not tell who it was. Song Shi frowned and opened the door. A burly young man stood outside. Song Shi was surprised. Chen Ming, you're not dead. This stranger was actually Chen Ming. That night, when he met this guy in the Demon Slayers Division's territory, he kicked Wobolin's head after taking a few steps, which left a huge impact on him. Why would he? Chen Ming's tone was displeased. He seemed to have lost a lot of weight. His expression was cold and his temperament had turned gloomy. Oh, looks like you escaped early. Song Shi carefully sized up Chen Ming and realized that his aura had changed greatly. His strength had also become much stronger. He had already reached the Khanate realm. He clicked his tongue. I didn't expect you to break through to the Khanate realm. Looks like the saying that you'll definitely be blessed after surviving a calamity is true. Congratulations. Chen Ming looked at Song Shi coldly. Cut the crap. The Demon Slayers Division has an order. Are you going to accept it? Song Shi knew that the Demon Slayers Division would look for him, so he moved aside. Come in and talk. There's no need. If you accept the order, follow me immediately. Chen Ming was impatient. Since you've said so, what else can I do? Song Shi shrugged and crossed his arms. Take me there. He muttered in his heart. Bring me where I can court death.